Dreams are the guiding words of the soul. Carl Jung. We think of dreams as random fragments of the night, bizarre, chaotic, even meaningless. But what if every dream was a coded message, a whisper from the unconscious waiting for you to listen? Today, we dive into Jungian dream interpretation, not as superstition, but as a profound roadmap to the hidden layers of the human psyche. Jung believed that dreams are not noise, they are signals. While Freud saw dreams mostly as wish fulfillment, Jung went further. He saw them as attempts by the psyche to balance itself, to bring the unconscious and conscious into dialogue. Every dream, no matter how strange, holds a function. Sometimes it warns, sometimes it heals, sometimes it reveals truths you're not ready to face. A patient came to Jung terrified by a recurring dream. He stood in a dark forest, and suddenly a snake wrapped around his body. He could not breathe. He woke up shaking, night after night. Jung asked him to describe his feelings: fear, paralysis, suffocation. But Jung saw something else. In many cultures, the snake is not just a threat. It is transformation, rebirth, a symbol of energy and renewal. For this man, the dream was not about death, but about the death of his old self. He was stuck in a life he hated, refusing to change. The snake was his unconscious, strangling him with a message: transform or be destroyed. Soon after confronting this truth, he made radical changes, leaving a toxic career and finding freedom. The dream had spoken. The dream is a little hidden door in the innermost and most secret recesses of the soul. Carl Jung. Dreams are doors, but most people walk past them without ever opening them. If you're fascinated by the hidden psychology of the human mind and you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more coming. In Jung's view, dreams speak a symbolic language. They draw from the collective unconscious, a realm of images and patterns shared by all humanity. That's why people across cultures dream of the hero, the shadow, the mother, the wise old man. These aren't random, they're archetypes, universal templates of human experience. A young woman once dreamed of descending into a cave, where she met a bearded old man who handed her a book. She had never seen this figure in her waking life. Jung recognized it as the wise old man archetype, a symbol of inner guidance. Later, the woman realized she was seeking direction in her career, and the dream offered exactly that: wisdom she had been ignoring within herself. Here's where it gets truly strange. Jung described cases of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences where dreams and waking life intersect. One of his patients dreamed of a golden scarab beetle. The next day during their session, a real scarab beetle tapped against the window. Jung caught it and placed it in her hand. For her, it was a breakthrough moment. The beetle was a living symbol, a confirmation that her unconscious and the outer world were mysteriously aligned. Another patient dreamed vividly that her brother was injured in a car accident. Hours later, she received a phone call. Her brother had indeed been in an accident that morning. Jung did not call it magic. He called it synchronicity, the uncanny bridge between psyche and matter. The most disturbing dreams often hide the greatest gifts. One patient of Jung's kept dreaming of being chased by a violent man. He swore, "That's not me, I'm peaceful. I never fight." But Jung explained, the stranger was his shadow, the aggression he had buried for years. Once he began acknowledging his anger and expressing it in healthy ways, the nightmares vanished, and with them his crippling anxiety eased. A woman repeatedly dreamed of seeing a cruel, mocking woman in a mirror. She despised this figure, but Jung showed her that the mirror woman was her own repressed bitterness. By facing it, she became more authentic, less nice on the surface, but more whole in her being. Dreams of enemies, monsters, betrayal, they are often projections of the shadow, the rejected parts of ourselves. In 1913, Jung was haunted by terrifying dreams: floods, rivers of blood, Europe frozen in ice. The darkness felt endless. At first, he feared madness. The shadows grew deeper, but then war erupted, World War I. Jung realized his dreams were not just personal nightmares. They echoed the fate of a continent. He recorded another man's dream, a town drowned in blood. The horror was real. Days later, news of a massacre. Jung never claimed certainty, but he could not ignore these grim, precognitive visions. Jung noticed that personal dreams echo ancient myths. A boy dreamed of flying on the back of a giant bird across mountains. To Jung, this was no random fantasy. It was the archetype of the hero's journey, the same story told in countless myths of flight and transcendence. A woman dreamed of being swallowed by the earth and meeting a goddess below. Jung linked this to Persephone's myth, an ancient story of death and rebirth. Why? Because myths and dreams are made of the same material, the timeless language of the unconscious. And here we are in 2025. Neuroscience can track brainwaves during sleep. Artificial intelligence can analyze millions of dream reports. Hospitals now study recurring nightmares in PTSD patients, discovering patterns that help in therapy. Yet with all this technology, one thing remains unchanged. Dreams still speak in symbols, not code. Jung's vision feels even more relevant today. In a world drowning in data, he reminds us that a single dream can reveal more about your soul than 1,000 algorithms. Carl Jung concluded, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." Dreams are not distractions, they are teachers. They guide you toward truths your conscious mind resists. They point to your wounds, your hidden strengths, your destiny. So the next time you wake from a strange dream, don't dismiss it. Ask yourself, what is my unconscious trying to tell me? Because the dream is not just a story at night, it's a map waiting for you to follow. For more deep dives into the mysteries of psychology, the unconscious, and the way the mind really works, don't forget to join us on this journey.